and then tubing. Believe it or not, they do still ship them in tubes sometimes. But we got one in the bubble and two, believe it or not, that are in. These came, I just got back from fishing. Of course, these showed up today while I was out fishing, but we're in luck. I'm going to go out fishing tomorrow. So whatever these are, I'm going to get them rigged up tonight and ready to go. But I thought before we do an unboxing, I'm going to give you guys a quick update because some of you guys want to know, right? Okay, here's the quickest update I can give you on this thing. You guys have been telling me forever, and I've tried it before, and it'll be coming up on a video of me fishing this briefly. I got this as one of the 3 reels I made a deal with. I bought used AliExpress reels, or, you know, BFS from made in China, whatever. Anyway, reel, no issues with it other than this handle is on the wrong side. Doesn't have a clicker. Did some casting and realized that not only is it hard to try to fish this way, casting with the weight over here instead of over here like I'm used to, get out of the way. That thing was not ready for, we're not ready for an unboxing. So anyway, I tried it, reminded myself why I don't like it. And so this reel, I don't know, I may just sell it, I may give it away, I may do it in a giveaway here on the channel. I haven't decided yet, but I will no longer be fishing with this reel because it's on the wrong side. Okay. Let's just update the rods we have gotten so far. Oh boy. Oh boy. That little bait, I just unboxed it and you guys can see it's got some marks on it. It's legit. That little Camo whopper plopper thing is, it makes the whopper, it's a muted whopper plopper sound because it's so small, but it definitely works and gets bit. And I've only caught, I've only caught a couple fish on it, so, and they weren't real big, but I got that video will be coming out at some point way down the road. But it does work. So if you guys are wanting to order that, and I think I listed it on the unboxing video, maybe in my last unboxing video on how to get it. And I will, if I don't do it in this video, at some point on a video, I'll probably make just about this bait. I'll do it. But that sucker is small. That's the Black Knight 2. So that's how small. That's a little bitty whopper plopper. And while I'm holding it here, the Black Knight 2 and this rod. This rod, I want to talk about real quick. Like I was telling Charles, this is a rod. I wouldn't say I got it as a joke, but it was $23, $24, and so I wanted to try it. Well, the whole combo, Noah's already told me he wants the whole combo. Like he likes the reel, the Black Knight 2, and the rod. And he was out there and we were test casting and stuff. So the plan is, now I'm going to wait and see if I can find something to pass this up. But this rod is stout enough and works good enough and just feels good. Throwing baits like this down to whatever, up to even heavier. It just feels good. It's got a good, it's just under 6 foot. I think it's supposed to be 6 foot. I'm pretty sure that's what that means, is a 180 UL, and that's what I'm pretty sure I ordered it. It was supposed to be 6 foot. It's slightly under. But as far as right now, the tip shows no sign of, you know, being like loosening the 2-piece part. Stays put. I fished it all day. I fished it quite a bit with not just this bait, but several other little baits. First day out on the water with the Black Knight 2. Also, I mean, it's a durability thing from here on out. But as far as what it can do out on the water, test casting, that thing's legit. That, in my mind, and I even threw a trout magnet with it. I didn't get real far because this rod's pretty stiff. Throwing a 1 gram trout magnet, but me and Charles are estimating somewhere between 30 and 40 feet. Now, if I had it on like the Zephyr or whatever. So anyway, it's legit, and it likes that setting. That setting is just past 4. It's 4 clicks away from maxed out. And you guys, I did the whole put magnets in, this and that if you needed to, but it likes that with bigger, and I've thrown a lot heavier today than what this is, but that is your like wheelhouse, like a roughly 1/8 of an ounce type bait. It just throws them, zings them out there, throws a little trout magnet without, you can't get real far, but it wasn't backlashing or anything right there. I tried to go down. I could cast it if it was easy and babied it, 3 or 4 clicks down, but the distance didn't seem to get any better because I was throwing it lighter. The minute I tried to throw it harder, guess what? Backlash. So that's where it likes to have this setting, on this one anyway, to keep from backlashing. So I may not do it now because I got a lot of other stuff going on, but I more than likely we'll get another one of these rods. This one will be Noah's, or if one has a better cork, I'll give it to Noah. And then the one I'm going to keep, I'll peel the handle off and put a solid handle like I've been talking about forever. Somebody's probably waiting for me to actually make a video doing that. And I'll probably use this little dude right here. And more than likely, I will cut the black part off the tip of it and make it just as long as whatever this handle is. Who knows? Something like that. So anyway, we got that out of the way. And I still haven't given you guys a full specs, like on weight, where the balance point is. I got other things I'm going to do on all the rods that are coming. I just haven't got around to doing that yet. So that rod is definitely keeper, and it'll be in the list of that I'm doing. This rod might make the list, but me and Charles already more or less decided that this one shouldn't be really recommended to anybody for a couple reasons. It clearly looks like a Mavlos delicacy, but it's not. It's a 3-piece. It is definitely put together a little cheaper with cheaper components than probably any of the rods. But it was a $13 rod. If you guys don't know anything about this is the first time you've seen it. That brand right there. 3-piece rod. There's the ratings. $13 rod though. If you absolutely have to have the cheapest rod possible that will work, and it does work fine. I casted it. It works fine. But here's the deal. The delicacy looks so much better, feels better overall. And for $28, I know somebody's going like, well, that's double the price. But for $28, you get 2 tips. You get a tip that is actually better than this. It's a softer, like more for the true ultralight baits. This one's a touch on the stiff side. It's not as stiff as this one here. So if you're wanting kind of one just to buy one rod and be able to throw, several different baits, and you're on a real tight budget, you could get this. But for $28 hang on a second. You get a tip softer than this, and then you also get a light tip, which is definitely going to be a little firmer than this. And that's why I recommend the delicacy over this rod. And they're a 2-piece rod, and I just don't like the 3-piece rods. First of all, it's kind of like it'd make a better travel type deal. And if you did want something like, well, I just want something the cheapest I can get back in my pickup kind of deal to fish with, then yeah, this might be okay, because it does seem solid enough, and I'll probably go ahead and weigh it and give the ratings on it and all that. But I'm not going to recommend that rod unless you want the cheapest thing possible. And in that case, believe it or not, I did a slight review on it. I said if you want to look it up, the worst reel ever, don't buy it. It's called Mr. Charles. And actually, I gave that reel to Charles, and he liked it for the short time he had it. And it's the cheapest BFS reel I know of on AliExpress still. I want to say it's $25. So technically you could buy this for $13 and that for $23 or $5, whatever it is. And you would have the cheapest BFS setup possible. And it will work. I don't know how long. I think that Mr. Charles, I had an issue with the line getting in. Right off the bat, when that happened, I was like, game over for me. So I gave it to Charles. He actually kind of liked it. So anyway, that's 2 of the rods. We got 3 rods here to unbox. And lastly, I was just going to talk real quick before we do the unboxing. This reel I'm turning into, and we tested it today. I got 15-pound braid, 15-pound leader, and I put this thing, I got hung up I don't know how many times. Now, I don't have the drag cranked, but I was put my thumb and pulling and trying to get unhooked and doing different stuff. the original Black Knight, you can still buy them. So if you're wanting to get, like, I'll get the Black Knight 2, you know, for my real lightweight stuff, and I'm gonna get the, you can still buy this one if you wanted like same kind of matching reels to do that higher, what I call extreme power BFS, or just regular stuff. That line is off of my MGL. So if you want a cheap alternative to Shimano MGL or to Tula SV, because it'll throw crazy light, and that's another thing you'll see in the video coming up. I'm throwing half-ounce baits and like 1/8 ounce baits, and throwing them very well with the ability of that spool. And I'm throwing it all on 15-pound line, to where if you're, you know, if you're in the nastiest stuff, but you want to throw something kind of small down to a fish, an option in those, like the SV, you know, your finesse stuff. So anyway, I'm still doing that, and I know I've got it on a $500 rod, but you don't have to put that on a $500 rod, and you don't have to have that exact reel. The older reels that are BFS is the whole point I'm trying to make with all using that, and that's going to be mine for the heavier stuff. You could get the XF50 and try that spool out. You know, reel, put it on, say, I don't know, a lightning rod if you want to go real cheap. XF50 on a lightning rod, and just to throw a lot of different things. So anyway, let's get to the unboxing. Where's my knife? That's not a knife. Well, not really, but it works. So, just like a surgeon, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to find the right spot that I want to cut. I haven't figured these out yet. Somewhere they're hooked. We're just going to start. Just going to cut it, pop one. We're going to open her up. We're going to open this one up first, because they're usually the easiest. And see what rod this is. I honestly don't know what any of these three are. I looked them all up to see where they were, and I don't think any of them showed like they were going to be here this week. So it's kind of unexpected, this rod, all of these rods. And at this point, it seems like the cheapest rods keep showing up. Anybody got an idea what? I still don't have an idea what it is yet. Let's do one at a time. Still don't have an idea. No name. I don't see a name yet. They got it tied together down here is what I'm working on. They didn't tie it up. I just hope they all make it in one piece. This doesn't feel horrible, doesn't feel great, but it has no name whatsoever on either end. So I'm pretty sure it's one of the cheaper ones. Let's try to get the tip out first. The tip doesn't feel broke. That's always a good sign. Somebody commented, a couple comments. Hang on a second here. Glad to see info coming. Yep. Hang on. The delicacies went up to $31 plus $1.50 shipping. Well, I know you can get it at a few different places too. Oh yeah, the LingL. I'm going to talk about it. Hang on. That's another thing. I got a couple. Oh, this is the one. This is not the one. This is one of the first two I ordered when I ordered the Black Knight, because I wanted a rod that maybe would go with it. Now this is a cheap one. It's not very expensive, but if it works, who cares about the price, right? It has no name on that. Let me see what is it? I don't even know what it is. It's the fishing blade. Where do you guys go? Fishing blade. I don't know if anybody knows how to read that kind of stuff. 2 to 8 pound, 1.5 to 7 is its rating. It's got the plastic. I know a lot of you guys fish your stuff with plastic on it. Guess what? Not me. First thing to come off. Oh, it got a gouge right there. Look at that. Did you guys see that gouge come out? I've heard there's a way you can get those things out of those. I don't know what you do. But anyway, I'm not the kind of person to leave plastic on for any length of time. And honestly, I'll tell you guys right now, this does not protect anything, because what will happen is a little moisture will get down in there and it'll stain it in weird spots. Take it out fishing. That is not, it's just designed to get it to you new. Or like if it's a display and people are handling it kind of thing. So we're going to just get this off. And I think, honestly, I'm looking at, and I know what I got. I know what I'm dealing with here. That is not cork. That's imitation cork. I can feel that right now. It's EVA covered just like that one handle, which is on, which I have the LingL on. I'll show you guys in a second. Which I don't care. I mean, it's a cheap rod. They actually feel good, but that is definitely not true cork. You guys can see the line. See where like it's made together. And that's another thing. If anybody in China is listening that helps assemble this stuff, put the bad stuff on the bottom side. Oh my God, look at this thing right here. Perfect example. See the worst part of the cork? It's right up there where you're staring at it and you see it. If it was on the bottom side, you wouldn't even hardly see it. See this thing right here? I'm going to be holding it right here. Look what I'm looking at. I'm looking at a line where you guys made it. If that would have been on the bottom, I wouldn't have noticed it near as much, as often. Anyway, what is that? You guys know how to say that? Use a hearing wrong. Use a hearing me try to say something that I can't say. Anyway, let's stick her together. Whoa, that is a very skinny opening for the tip to go. Now this one, let's look. Another solid tip, one tip. I want to say this was either $23 or $19. I have to look it up. Wow, what big eyes you have. That thing's got big eyes. Big, cheap eyes. Let me get a look at this thing. You guys see that thing? Look at them eyes coming at you. Them is nowhere near micro guides. Let me feel it whippy. I'll probably end up snapping one of these. I'm getting so many of them in, I'm going to be doing a test, and one of these is going to go doink. But, I mean, if they got to be able to handle something. You got to be able to put them under a little bit of stress. Reminds me of that freaking, I unboxed that first, I got one coming, but that first Ace Hawk, I grabbed that thing. I did a little bend. Doink! Like that quick. I was like, huh? And if I'd known now what I know now, I could have disputed it that it got, because it may have gotten jacked up in shipping. I don't know, but so what do I think of this? This is a short rod. This is like 5'6". Yeah, this is a very short rod. My initial thoughts were something for creeks and streams, but I can tell you already by looking at it and feeling of it, I won't like it as well as I do this one. This rod right here is like just a better rod. It's got not crazy better guides, but they're a touch better, and it's just feels better. I should have known by that there. It's not cut out so you can feel the blank, but it does look pretty good, and we'll fish it and we'll see what it does. Somebody out there may want one just like this for the price, and it definitely will go good. It's hard to tell now with that, but it'd go good with a Black Knight. Okay, so that's number one. Let's take a quick break from this long, overdrawn out unboxing to talk real quick, because somebody asked me about the LingL. Here's the get up on the LingL. You guys want to know? I'm going to tell you. The LingL, we've had some issues and run-ins, not today, but with the whole spool. If you guys are familiar, this spool weighs a half a gram heavier than they're supposed to be. 7.3 is what they're supposed to weigh. This, you've seen it in the unboxing. I missed it. I weighed all the spools, you know, and this one weighed 7.8, not 7.3. So 0.5 grams heavier than it's supposed to. So I talked with the guy, ended up disputing it because I don't think he could understand what I was wanting. I don't want to send this back. He's like, send it back if you have a problem. I'm like, I don't want to send this back. It took a month and a half to get. I only got a few weeks left of fishing. I want to go fish it, but I want another spool. So anyway, I just went ahead and disputed it and wrote up in there what I wanted. You know, I just wanted partial refund, $28. You can buy the LingL spools for $28. You could. There were still some available. So anyway, it was no problem. Boom. The next day I had $28. Actually, it's already in my bank now. I already got the $28 back. So that's no problem and I think the guy, he was more than happy. I don't think he realized what I wanted though. So the LT store, which I think is actually the time also, I got the money to where I can buy a spool that weighs the same. Here's the issue that I don't know. He probably didn't want me telling everybody this, but he messaged me that he'd weighed some of the other spools on the reels he had at the warehouse or wherever he's at, and he says they weigh 7.4. Which, that's not bad. 7.3 is what it says. 7.4, you guys will never know. I would never, nobody's going to notice that in casting performance. That 0.1, you would have to go better than a trout magnet, I think, before you would even think about being able to, test a difference in the performance. But a half a gram, that's a whole different story. 0.5 over 0.1. But I went fish this today. No problems. It actually works very good. It has an issue, and I guess I should try to show you guys. And it may need to be taken apart because I haven't taken this thing apart or anything. But I'm just going to show you if I can do it here. I don't want to have to cut the line and all that because I'm going fishing in the morning again. Here's the issue with this reel. Hopefully you guys will be able to hear it. Okay, listen careful. No, you can't hear it. When there's a bait in the water with any kind of resistance and you're reeling, it almost swears like there's a gear, like it's got a geary sound to it, which my other older reels or newer reels don't, unless like sometimes, when they get either worn gears or they're just running too dry. So I need to tear it apart, and it probably just needs more. It's still real smooth though. There's no issues, and it fishes great. I have no issues with how it's fishing. I was casting other baits, but then I ended up getting crazy with an 1/8 ounce, and I was changing up different colors. That's the Goby Bryant. I was catching them on that, and I actually like it on this Tutula rod. Problem is, the Tutula rod is a slight bit tip heavy, and I put this grip, which is just like this grip. That's how I could tell instantly when I saw it. You can see, instead of being it's clear, like it's brighter, where that should be darker. On a true cork, if you're trying to look in at them, like look at this one. Here's another example. So when you're looking and you're like, well, I wonder if that's, is that real cork or imitation or whatever. If it looks kind of clean, it looks like good cork, but you can start seeing some of the internal where it looks like it's got little spots missing. And that is actually as brighter than the outside. That's the little foam stuff showing through. You can see it instantly once you know what to look for. So, and then you can feel it. The EVA is EVA. So when you squeeze it, it actually goes in to where cork, it may give a touch, but it's just a lot stiffer. So look at that lesson you guys got. So anyway, this one's getting cut off and redone because I didn't do it right. If I'd have done it right, I'd have probably left it and just added a butt on the end. I do have a couple little end cap things coming. Somebody else commented. So I'll be able to, kind of like this, I guess if you guys seen this, I did balance the NRX rods. I'm not cutting them up, but I duct taped some weight on them just so they'll be balanced. And they feel way better in hand. You just grab them straight up and down, they definitely feel heavier because I added like 1 ounce. But when you're palming it and fishing, yeah, that's what somebody commented, Eugene, that 175 is 510 and 1.80 is supposed to be 6 foot. Well, it's definitely a little off. Yeah, then Jay commented, he said his LingL spool weighs the same as mine. Yeah, the LingL, unless you're trying to throw a trout magnet, you have no issues. If you're throwing, let me think here. Well, you guys saw the test I did with like a 1.5. It still casts good. But if you were, I don't know, it's just if they advertise it at weighing something, that's what it needs to at least be that light, not heavier by 0.5 gram. And then before we get to the other one, oh no, wait, we're going to unbox one more, then we're going to take another small break. So let's get to another one here real quick. And I'll try to get to all the comments when I can, but I really need to be in bed by 10 o'clock, but I probably won't make it. It'll probably be more like 11. I still have the GoPros upstairs right now on the computer. I did fill up both. We had a good enough day. It wasn't as good as the last one, but I filled up both my SD cards with footage and catches and talking about stuff and all that. And I did let Charles, we were kind of just, here, try this setup, and he was handing me his. I won't talk about it as far as, you won't see me probably doing it, but you've seen the real test do it. And Charles, he loves taking the Black Max. I think it's BM3 or BMX3 or whatever they call them, like the spools and stuff you can get on AliExpress. But he loves like souping those things up, turn them into BFS reels, the Black Max. And they do, I have to admit. I was throwing his on, I don't remember what rod he had it on now. I don't know. He's got like 3 or 4 Black Maxes, and he's doing one over this winter again. But that thing feels good. There's nothing wrong with it. So anyway, what do we have here? I'm going to save this. I'll save the tubes. Oh, Tomo. Oh, this is going to be a good one, boys and girls. Now, my first experience with one of these, I bought one way back when I bought my first Kind, maybe? It was definitely around the XF 50 days and the Haibo Steed. And I had a Tomo. I call him Tomo. I don't know how you say that. Tomo. Anyway, kind of like that. Yeah. Let's get this untied. It's tied up too. Let's see what this one is. What was I talking about? Black Max. So anyway, if you guys are thinking about like just something, you're wanting to kill time over the winter and ends up being a good fishable. Ooh, 2 tips. This must be expensive. Came with 2 tips. This is probably $31 rod. These 2 tips don't look hardly any different. I think they're 2 solid. Oh, they are. They're both solid tips, but one's supposed to be a light, one an ultralight. And I can tell, but before we even see, I reveal what it is, let's look at the tips. Hopefully you guys can make out. Well, if I could get this thing to focus. You guys make it out? That bottom is definitely a thicker tip than the top. That thing's got some bend in it. Yeah, and that one is stiffer. Let's compare it. It's Tomo to Sir LingL. Yeah, this one is probably in between. I don't know. Yeah, this one's like I thought. That cheap rod I was telling you guys don't buy, that I can't recommend. It's like in between a true ultralight and a light. It's like, it's just in between them. And if you had to compare, let me get this dude out. I think this dude's heavier than all of them. This one's probably more like a actual light. I think that's why I like it for like the fishing I'm out doing. Yeah, this one, the pink one is, well, it may not be as heavy as this light. But let's find out what handle this is attached to, because I'm still waiting for a true handle on one of these that I actually like. Now I know the Volan, you've seen Charles's, and I've got one coming. I know I like that one. That's my other Tomo rod had that crazy bright writing on it. Okay, ooh, this is the one. This is the one I'm hoping to like, and I think it already comes with freaking imitation cork. Dang it. I know that's imitation wood probably. See that cork? I think that's imitation. We'll find out for sure, but I like the looks of this one. I hope I like the fishes and looks. Let's just stick, it's a 30, I think this was $31. Let's just stick a $300 reel on it and see what it looks like. Let's just see what. Now this honestly would look good with a the Conquest on it. Nope, looks too expensive. Let's take it off. Let's put a $65 reel on it. There's, yeah, that looks better. So now we have, but look at that. See how short that is? I don't know if I like that. I got the trigger. This is how I'm going to cast in my, it's definitely not a Zephyr. The Zephyr rod has one of the best feeling, just short handles that I've ever felt. It's a little thicker. That is definitely, that's why it's $31, boys and girls. That's definitely just an imitation wood. I can just tell by looking at it once you see it in person. It does look clean overall. That's definitely metal. You definitely have, that's aluminum, all of that's aluminum. All that, the whole thing there, that's imitation wood, plastic with a coating. That will wear off. I don't care what. I've had some Mega Bass ones that does wear off. So, but anyway, let's peel it. It's brand new. Let's break it out. Let's get that imitation foam smell. Hang on, I'm gonna use my knife. Don't try this at home. I just need a small tear. There we go. Now, honestly, did not pay enough attention, I guess. Zoom in on pictures. Where's the maid at when you need a maid? So if you want to buy this one, that is imitation cork. That is EVA foam. I don't know how long before it wears down, but it is, on a good note, it's not like a nasty color going to start showing through. I think if you just are the type of guy that fishes them and never cleans them, you'd probably never be able to tell the difference once it gets dirty and you just keep using it. If you're one to keep something shiny and you keep wearing on it before long, that's probably going to, that little coating of cork, I don't even know what they use, cork paper I'll call it, I guess. Because it looks like real cork, but if you look, like I talked about in the other ones, see that? Oh, that's a perfect shot. Normal cork, that would all be darker. All of that kind of stuff would be darker. I guess I just didn't pay enough attention. I ordered so many different rods. But let's see. I'm going to go right to, let's see on the soft tip one. And I'm not going to compare it to all my rods, but that's probably as soft. It's probably within range of the Zephyr, but the Zephyr's probably a little stiffer or a little softer still. But the one I would probably use it for in the majority of time and when I go to the streams. Oh, that is the stupidest thing. Does this one even have one? That's ridiculous. I don't know if you guys see what I'm talking about here. I don't see one on that. It looks like it gave me, or is that just a, hang on. No, that's just a, I thought it gave me dots to line up, but I think that's just a flaw in the paint or in the gloss in the thing. It's a little whatever. So anyway, you just eyeball it. And all we'll really be able to test out eventually on these is just how well the two-piece rod stays together. You don't see me doing it, but I'm test flexing. If you hear a big loud snap, it didn't stand up to the test. Doesn't feel bad. It definitely feels, probably because of how short this handle, it's the most tip heaviest of the ones I've held, even more than this guy right here. So this one is supposed to be, I think it's supposed to be 6 foot. Let me check it. Oh, we didn't check the specs on it. Carbon fishing rod. And I don't know what they call it. I don't see an actual name that I can make out. Yeah, it says 602 UL, 6 foot, line 2 to 5. Well, I'm trying to show you guys. I got rods everywhere. 2 to 5, lure 0.8 to 5 grams. I'm guessing that's between both tips. I have no idea. Maybe that's just for the ultralight. I don't know. So anyway, so far we've unboxed these 2 rods. This one was ordered a month after this one. This one, and hopefully what I guess is in this package, last package, is the 2 I originally ordered to kind of have a option to go with the Black Knight. That was before I realized the Volin rod. So hopefully I'm not saving myself anything now. I like these purple wraps. I guess I didn't talk about that. I like the color. Those look good. This, too bad this one wasn't wrapped up like this other one, and I'd have me a little nice streaming creek rod. So anyway, we got 2 down. At some point I'll be doing all the testing and flexing and all that stuff in a bigger area where you guys can see what I'm doing. Let's take a little break from unboxing. I'll talk about this reel real quick. Now I know it's been out for a while, a lot of reviews, a year, 2 years ago, however long it's been out. I didn't really realize at the time that it was basically, it's a PW100 through Sonora called a Spirit Fox. It does look a little different. And I'll tell you the only issue. Now I did this. You can interchange the side plates and the spools. That's how they are basically the same reel. I'm telling you guys. I don't know if I did it in the video already or not, but you can take that side plate and a spool and they'll fit on this thing. So it's pretty much the same reel. It's got a little different. It's actually made different how the brakes are. Like see how that's all on the side plate covered. And this has a little extended housing, so it looks like totally different, and the numbers are just wrote on the side plate on this one, if you guys can see that. Oh my god, how, I don't know, it's there, see it, those numbers right there, we go. I like this reel. Here's the downside. Well, it does not come with a drag clicker, and see this right here, this is how I palm. I like my thumb, and this could not be made any better, really. You got a big fat thumb, you got a big wide little, cutout there. And just the way this palms, that's part of the reason I liked it so long. It's lightweight, palms good. The Spirit Fox, I don't like how pointy that is. It looks ridiculous in my mind. But then they also goofed up, I don't know if you guys can see the way it shines. This is raised higher. Instead of having a cool little cut down deal, that's raised up. And you wouldn't think it makes a difference, but when you're out on the water, you can feel, it feels like your thumb is riding high. I guess it may be. I haven't really checked that measurement to see if it is, but it's there. So anyway, but I like this reel, and I may end up keeping it because I got a deal on it. It doesn't have a drag clicker though. They don't come with a drag clicker. Now I could order all the parts since I know it's the same reel as this. If I could track down that, you'd need the shaft, the one, what you call it? You guys know what you call it. The disc in there that actually has the teeth on it, and then you need the little pin and stuff. So you need a lot of parts. So what I'm gonna do, you guys have probably seen the one on this one I made. I'm gonna try to do that with this one. So be waiting for that. I'm gonna try to put together a video showing you guys how I do it. All you need is a Dremel tool and the cutoff wheel, the thin cutoff wheels. Anyway, I'm going to try to make a drag clicker for that and keep this reel around a while. Knobs, I hate them. They remind me of the old Lose knobs, which I guess comfort, they're okay, but just they look ridiculous to me. I'd never have like those style paddle, what I call paddle knobs. I don't like them. I don't like these. They actually are not, like some of this stuff you'll get, I feel like it actually gets grippier when it gets wet. These, in my mind, I feel are a touch on the slick side anyway, and I just don't. That's too much turquoise. I know it's supposed to be seafoam, but guess what, boys and girls? That's turquoise. So, but I like the reel, and it's worked good. I got it on the 802. No issues today. Trying out this line that I got from Jay, and I can't remember, Suffix 832. He said this was 6 pound, but it looks awful thin. But I was throwing it with a 10-pound leader, and we were fishing pretty stout, so it's pretty good braid. I may give it a shot. I think it's just camo, I believe, blue camo on the color, but it definitely works pretty good. I don't know what the cost is. I may get me, Hercules has blue camo also. I may just get some of that, call it a day. So where was I? Oh my gosh, it's the middle of the night and I still got one of these to open up. If any of you guys are still hanging around and watching, you're troopers. Stream angler, lure killer. Oh yeah, Charles. Charles and the stream angler and his lure killer. I don't think it will catch greenie or giant crappie. They'll all catch them. Dun, 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 dun. Oh yeah, that's it. Eugene says, set your iron and wet washcloth. Set iron on the cork handle. Not for long. It should pop out. Yeah, I've heard there's a few different ways to pop any of that kind of stuff out. But when you're dealing with, I don't think that's true cork. So it's probably, I don't know. I ain't really even worried about it. Unless I really like the rod, then I might worry about cosmetics. But as you guys know, I'm not shy of just taking that sucker and peeling it all off and sticking one of these on, because that is actual cork. And I do have more of these coming. I ordered, I think, 2 of each, 2 of the big ones and 2 of the littler, smaller, and they are skinnier with the black on the end. And that is true cork. You can kind of tell by the defects in it too. It's different color rings, and then when you see a spot, it's either one or two things. It's either filler they use, which is usually always darker, or it's just once you get down deeper into the cork, it's darker color. But these two are real cork. So anyway, that is probably, if and when those start falling apart or doing whatever they're going to do, and I did like the rod and I plan on keeping it, that's what I'll do. I got a mess going down here. Somebody needs to get them made. All right, here's another one. Final, 662. Now we're playing with power. 662. Whoa, something free, look out. You guys see that pop out of there? Just like giving birth, just popped out. Toma, I don't even know what those are. Do you guys ever use anything like that? What is that? Let's pull one out. Let's check it out. I don't know. You guys think he'll catch a fish? How much you want to bet? I bet Charles throw this on, catch a big friggin' crappie. I know he would. I know Charles would. I don't know if I ever throw it, but thank you for the gift, wherever this came from. Now this one, let's open it up. I still, 662. I know I ordered a few that were longer, but once again, no name, just that. Your 662's in. Oh, thanks. Sweet. I'm trying to get the tip out here. Whoa, that tip looks skinny. I think I'd be used to these solid tips. Still tells me nothing. These guys need to learn how to put smaller freaking eyes on these things. Save money in shipping. Put eyes that big on them. Where'd it go? I can't even get it to indicate. That has kind of big eyes. Which rod? This should be, and it probably is another Toma. So I think, no, I don't remember what the first rod I ordered with that purple one was. Ooh, soul neck. We'll get out of there. Soul neck. Whoa, it says made in China right on it. Fee zone. Is that what that says? D-zone? Don't know. There it is, boys and girls. Read it and weep. It is nothing to write home about, but it looks good overall. I think, what? No, what am I looking at right here? What is that? It's a freaking gigantic 6'6" keychain. What is that? Do you guys know? I don't even know. No. Is it? No, I don't know what it is. My guess would be that if you have a tall enough ceiling, you could actually hang your rods in storing them and not, so they wouldn't, I don't know, bend out or what. I don't know why that's, oh, wait a minute. What is going on with this? Is this cheap made or is this like a crazy, that is not, let me see, what do I have? I don't even know what I got going on here. That moves, it pulls in and out. This isn't even attached. So I don't know what I got going on. Do you guys know what's going on here? I don't have any clue. That is just free spinning. That is twirling. I was hoping like that was some kind of way to add weight. Is this like a puzzle? Chinese puzzle? I don't know what that is. This don't come out anymore. It just spins. That looks like fake cork again. Oh my God. Does anybody use cork? That's fake cork too. Oh well. Let's put it together and see what we got. Hey Charles, you want to buy some 2-piece fishing rods? I got a bunch for sale. I don't know if I'm gonna like this one or not. It is longer, so we'll give it a shot just for the fact that it's a little longer, get out there and reach a little more with a very, wow, that's a light tip. You guys can't see it right now. I'm flexing it right now, and it is crazy. It's definitely, Charles, you wouldn't like it. It's very soft. Okay, we got all three unboxed. I'm going to try to rig them up. I don't know if I'm going to, I guess I got enough reels. I mean, I got the PW100 and the Aldebaran just sitting here. I didn't even take them today. I could string some line on them real quick and rig 2 of them. Or I guess I could put, I'll be honest, I want to keep fishing this, but I could take this off, the Black Knight, and put it on this one to start with tomorrow. Because tomorrow I'll probably start throwing, I could throw this little guy is light enough you can throw with these little ultralights. Top water and my little Sonora poppers, stuff like that. Just get a start and get a first feel of this rod. And then rig up the other 2 on the others. Actually, the Aldebaran would go good on here with just a regular. So yeah, I could do that. I might do that. Rig the Aldebaran on here. Go back to some other colors than that. I did that just so I could get something that's closer match to that. And I still haven't done anything to the handles on the other reels. I'm still in the process. I do know that I don't like these, and I didn't like them before. I still don't like them. The LingLs, I'm kind of up in the air. Whoa! So much for my tip. No. I do like these over those. Like my lychee style one. It's just one of those things, you got to be in the mood for it. Otherwise, I just like my regular, well, let me grab one. These guys. Just your EVA foam camo grips. Like this guy, but not purple all the time. But these do work, and I can't say that they help you detect bites or any of that stuff like a lot of guys claim. But they're not bad. It just feels like something's missing. Like me anyway, I get in that mood. And this one, is thicker than these. Those actually go even thinner. And as you can see, they're actually smoother how they go thin. So they actually feel, these feel better than this by just a little, because it's like a smooth transition. As long as you grab it right there, you know, it just does not feel bad. So anyway, I probably ought to get out of here, go upstairs and switch my other SD card around and get everything figured out. Come back down here, line up some of these. So far we got 3 rods to test for tomorrow and then more tests later on. But this one is definitely, if you guys just want a good all around, I know it looks a little weird, but you'll get used to it. It doesn't seem near as weird to me now, that crazy hot pink colored bubblegum pink whatever rod. It does fish good. Like I said, and as of right now, just by filling those, what I've seen in the 3 I've got, this is still going to be my pick over those 3. I know this is janky looking, but like I said, I'm planning on, and this is probably going to flake off or start wearing off at some point. But just in the feel of the rod, how it works, I do like it. Now I may end up liking one of these others. I said I'll have to get out and fish them, and I'm very interested in seeing how well the 6.6, because I got the 6.32 kind, but it's not a solid tipped rod, and it's probably, I just got it sitting over there, I guess because it's old. I'm getting, you know, I've fished it forever. I fished it for like 2 years. Pretty heavy. I'm just trying some of these different cheaper alternatives. So this rod would probably be in range of what that 6.3 Kind Teton is. It's definitely a heavier rod, just partially because that solid tip. I didn't peel the foam off it, or the plastic off the foam. Does it have plastic there? That is like just cheap plastic imitation that's already like scratched. It almost looks like it's got a protective thing I should be able to peel off so it won't look so nasty, but I don't think it does. I think that's what it is funky. That doesn't look good. That's one of the cheapest looking things about the whole. I kept looking at it thinking maybe it's got a piece of protective. It looks scuffed up already. Anyway, guys, I can't say that any of them really blew me away tonight of the 3 I've unboxed, but I do have better ones coming, or I feel that are better, like the Volan for sure. I've already looked at that rod, fished at Charles's just a little bit. It's a little more expensive. I can't remember how much it was. The Delicacy I also have coming. Oh boy, a bunch. There's more. We've only got 3, 4, 5. So there's 5 more. Wait, I think there's 5 or 4 more coming in the original batch, and then I ordered a few others. So I don't think we've gotten half of them in yet that are going to be testing out, and that's just this batch. I do plan on, but that's probably all the true ultralights, unless I come across something I haven't seen out yet. The next step is me to probably get rid of some of these rods, however way, whatever process, and then I've got the one real nice light rod coming. If I like it, I'm getting the medium light, the medium, and the medium heavy. And it's a done deal for me as far as one full range of rods. But I also, kitty cat, you better stop it. Anyway, I'm also going to look for those in between where, you know, BFS, but medium light, and light rods that are more on the JDM, you know, edge of things, not the crazy soft. Because even a lot of these, like what Charles, most of his rods, the Dragon, I'm probably going to order me another one. Charles loves the Dragon. And it's like his heaviest rod, and it's actually lighter than my Teton 661. So I'm wanting a little step up from that. Like right now, this is like a step or two under the Teton. The Dragon was definitely one step down, probably one step overall heavier than this, but this definitely, I think, gets into backbone quicker than the Dragon does. The Dragon's like, I feel like it's just a softer overall rod, like a crankbait rod is what I called it the first time I started. I'm like, this is a crankbait rod. Capable of setting some small, jig style hooks, TRDs, crappie jigs, stuff like that. So anyway, guys, I got to get out of here. I got to go get ready. Stay tuned for further videos. Charles says, that's nice. Which one? Jay's past his bedtime. Yeah, everybody has mentioned the Sonora Dark Wolf 50S, which is that reel. This is the Black Knight 2, the Dark Wolf. The newest one is that reel. Now, they're calling the spool 6.1. It's probably just that. Now, they may have got that spool a little bit lighter, but if you guys follow the different brands, the first Dark Wolf is definitely right in range of the original Black Knight. They came out around the same exact time, and I'm almost positive that the new Dark Wolf is this reel. Now, maybe they changed or they went in a little further internally and got a hair more weight out, but I can tell you right now, this, for me, the stuff I use, that's already light enough. This wasn't light enough for the stuff I use in certain times, but the LingL, the upgraded, this purple spool right here, it's already light enough for what I do. So what's going to happen, they're going to go into Alpha's territory at some point. They're going to make these spools, they're going to get so thin, so lightweight, that they're going to become very fragile. They're going to be French, and guys will start destroying them. You're going to get to that point. So this and the newest Dark Wolf are probably there. But I'm running 6 pound. I think I'm running 6 pound on this one. I don't know what they recommend to run on this spool, but I think that's 10-pound braid, but I only run a 6-pound leader, so it shouldn't get any more pressure than what a 6-pound line would put on it. This spool, I wouldn't be afraid to run. I've always ran 10-pound, no problems. 10-pound braid, sometimes 15-pound braid with a 10-pound leader. No issues, no sign of deforming or whatever. This crazy one is way thicker. It's thicker than this, and that's why it's on a tad on the heavy side, but it does cast down. You can throw a 16th ounce bait. It's not the easiest thing to do compared to like the newer spools, but it'll still throw it. But then when you get to an 1/8 and then on up, like I'm throwing 1/2 ounce, 1/8 ounce, 16th ounce jig with some kind of plastic on it, which ends up being 1/8 ounce roughly, but just bombs it, like it throws it real well. You try to throw on a true 2 gram or 1.7 or the 1.5, this little guy that we do in the test, that spool definitely will suck. It's just big and old. The XF50, your whole range, the original GH100, it may cast probably better than those old, the best out of the old batch of spools, I'll call them, the Chinese spools. But it's none of those older ones are compared for when you get down to the small weights like the newer batch that are out. From the LingL, the one that truly weighs 7.3 down to the one now that's out that weighs 6.1, like you can cast crazy small stuff. So yeah, the new, I don't know, I've thought about ordering one. They're $79. They're the same price. I believe it's the same exact reel, but I honestly like the purple. I like the looks of the Black Knight too. And if it's the same reel other than the spool, because if you guys don't know, like I even weighed mine up. Mine, the day that the LingL weighed 7.8, this weighed 6.4. So 6.4, you take off the 6.1, 0.3 will be a difference, but once you get that light, I mean, yeah, if a guy was casting, if you start out at a 1 gram trout magnet and then you're trying to go down from there consistently, but if you're throwing 1.5 like this, or like I was throwing this casts it just fine. Like I have no issues. And which I'm sure that the new Dark Wolf will do also. I've been, like I mentioned, casting all the regular stuff, no problems also. So I don't know. You guys comment below. What do you guys think? Should I order at least one? Because I'll be honest, my plan is once I get this other rod in, if I like it, I'm going to probably order 4 or 5 of these. So somebody was asking me, and I'm going to put a video out just on this reel. Like, I think this reel is legit. I like how small and palmable it is. And I keep trying to tell people there's a huge size difference between the old one and the new one. Like, you just don't even know. Like, huge difference. This is like Corrado 300 to the Corrado 70. I mean, it's a big difference. They are totally different reels. They look alike. They did a good job. They made them look very close. In pictures, a lot of guys, I can't tell. It's easy to tell once you start looking. The black on the old one is more of just a satiny, not a gloss. This black is almost like painted with some kind of metal flake. It's got this cutout here. That one's more of just a squared off. It actually says corn right here. This says night. The spools are different in the fact that, well, they're totally different sizes, but this is old school, like it doesn't have the shaft that goes all the way through. It's a short shaft. This one is more like a Shimano. It is long shaft on this reel. They're way narrow. Like, this is way narrower. Like, my thumb barely, like when I put my thumb on this, I'm feeling both sides for sure. When I put my thumb on this one, I can usually do it and I don't really feel the sides. You guys see the difference? Like, this is a way bigger, wider, everything. This is I plan on, if the rods I have coming I really like, the 7.3 medium heavy, that reel's going on it. And all the other ones, I'm going to try to put this guy. Now, if I blast a spool because I put too thick a line or whatever happens, then I'll just get another one of these. Like, if the medium, I may need another one and just run that on the medium. But the light and the medium light will have one of these. This rod will have one of these. And I'm going to get Noah one, and then I'll need one for the Volan for sure, because I definitely am putting one on the Volan when I get it, and I'm keeping that rod. I already know that's going to be a combo line. So, yes, if you ask me as of today, right now, it's not going to outlast this, but as far as palming and what it'll do, casting, I put it right there with this guy. I have yet to put any other reel. I didn't even put the alphas there because of the heavy feel of the weight and the fact the alphas, in my one-trick pony, it'll cast down them little bitty weights easier, probably easier still than a touch than this. I know the reel test did a test, and his beat the alpha, but man, that alphas was amazing on very light weights. But this one can go up, and I'm not worried about it. I was zinging that. You guys will have to wait and see the video, but that bait right there will fly. So, 1/8 ounce, the 1.5 gram shoots it way out there. The trout magnet, I'll be honest, those freaking little bitty old trout magnets just suck. It reminds me of trying to cast back in the day when we were all out there with 16th ounce crappie jigs or 2 grams and trying to cast with all of our old Daiwa finesse spools, and before guys, once Avail came out, started coming out with their crazy shallow spools on the Aldebarans, it was game over. But that kind of deal. That 1 gram is like a nightmare, and it's kind of all based on. I want to say that's 10-pound braid with a 6-pound leader, so that was hindering me on once you get that small in a little bitty old 1 gram bait. Yeah, 2 pound. That's probably what you'd want to fish with, somewhere between 2 and 4 pound test. But that's not going to be me. I'm using BFS gear to bass fish with, so I don't have to use spinning gear. That's my main reason why I started doing it, and that's why I continue to do it. But I do like to test out the stuff and just see what suits me better. And so as of right now, this was my top dog on AliExpress. PW100 has been blown away by this little guy right here. This dog right here can hunt. And he just flat out works. Now, durability. But the PW just kind of gave out on me, the anti-reverse. I'm going to try something. I kind of greased it, the anti-reverse roller bearing, and I don't think I was supposed to do that. It's working now, but it still don't feel quite right. But anyway, so I have to, and I'm putting this one up. My personal best was caught on this. This reel is going put up, but I do have a new top dog because I'd already traded. I traded the other PW100 to Charles. Until they come out with something better, this is the reel for the little stuff, for my all-purpose little stuff. I'm not saying I won't buy another reel because I've been debating. There's a couple of them I'm thinking about buying for other things, but for being that little bitty one, I can put on little rods like this, little ultralights. I can still put on my 661 and throw my 1/8 ounce to 6 and 16th ounce jig head and have no issues. That's what I'm going to try and hope this one's for. So we're going to have to put it, probably won't be but a few more trips this season. I have to wait till next season to get out on the water before I can really put a season in and test the durability. I have no reason to doubt that it won't be a good, solid performing reel. Because although I just picked this one up used, Charles, he's used he put in, I think he's fished it quite a while, but when they first came out, he got one and I got one. I tested mine for about a month and went, nope, got rid of it. Charles kept his and he's fished it and he's got it on his Volan. And it works good. I fished it the other day. They are a little noisy. These are still noisy, but I don't think either one of these are as noisy as Charles's or my original one. I think they've maybe upgraded bearings or something, or maybe just, I don't know. If you do have one of these, anytime, if you're buying ceramic bearings and they're just too noisy for you, you can't handle it, or you feel it's too free, just oil them. Just put some oil in there. Your BFS oil, what you normally oil regular bearings, throw some oil in there. It definitely will settle them down and quieten them down. So anyway, I'm out of here, guys. I've freaking talked way too long. This is like over an hour. Hour and 8 minutes. Oh, well. I know for sure that my footage is uploaded onto my computer anyway. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned. Look at that. That is a fast RC truck, and it handles great. See ya.